fast forward now into the bloodline. Excuse me, not bloodline. The the CM Punk Roman Reigns segment, which kind of feels like bloodline because it's like you got the Usos all in there. You got LA Knight in the back saying, hey, listen, we cool just as long as y'all don't go back into the whole bloodline thing again. And it's just like you starting to look like baby Roman and blah, 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 blah. And Punk goes out there, does his promo. Jay's out there, Jimmy's out there, and Jay is pacing back and forth like the crazy man that he used to be. And it's just like, okay. All right, it's cool. I mean, it's fine for what it is. Roman comes out, and Roman says, you guys had a tag match, right? Guys, tag match is over? Everything's good? Respectfully, I need y'all to go. And they go ahead and they leave, and all of a sudden chaos breaks out, and Jay says, no, we gotta go back because Jay and CM Punk are going at it, and Jimmy says, yo, you tend to lose your cool and lose control.
Yep.
That was the part for me.
But there was a part earlier where someone, I think it was LA Knight, that mentioned to him, you're acting like Roman. And Jay's like, why does everyone keep calling me Roman?
Right. So that little thing right there, we got bloodline in there, is cool. Roman does what he does to CM Punk. He attacks him because Jay said, go get him, smash him. He spears him, beats him up, power bombs him through the table. Punk is laughing, but that's not what I care about, right? Because that's advancing the story. What I care about is I just feel it in my bones, Josh. They're going to turn on Roman. That's what I see. We are not going to get Bloodline 3.0 again. We're just not going to get it. So what's the best option for you to have is for the Usos to turn on Roman Reigns. That's how I see it, because the call came from the house. And what I mean by the call came from the house is that if you noticed in the back, nothing they do is on accident.
No, I know what you're getting at.
You noticed that there's a big ass poster of The Rock.
You fell for the trolling.
Listen, they could be throwing you off.
Well, that's exactly what they're doing.
I'm just saying that the call looks like it comes from the house because we still at some point need a Roman and Rock. We still need that. And if they go ahead and do this, Jimmy and Jay, or Jay is probably going to convince Jimmy and say, I'm supposed to be the tribal chief. He continues to fail us. I'm the guy that was main event Jey Uso. I was champion before I've been champion before he was. Like, what was the last time he was champion? I was champion more recent than he was. I'm the one that's provided for the family, not him. I don't know. Call me crazy. But where else are you going to go with this? Because you're going to have the same old hits where they in the corner with Roman, and then I don't like that.
It's not going to be them being the heads for Roman. It's going to be Jay leading the bloodline.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you passed over, or you lightly mentioned Jay was telling Roman to go get him.
Yeah.
The more important thing is that Roman followed someone else's order.
So you think that Roman is going to be in a group with Jay's the leader?
No, I'm not saying that.
Oh, okay.
All right. But what I'm saying is all of a sudden, Roman is starting to realize, A, maybe Jay is right, and B, a while back, Roman said, Jay, you are the next tribal chief.
Tribal chief, right.
And Jimmy is starting to notice
that he's
Jey
changing.
acting like a tribal chief and calling the shots and doing this and doing that. On SmackDown, you had Tama Tonga call out Solo about kind of being like a little Roman and tribal chief type thing. You're going to be getting the family to an extent back together. I'm with you on Usos turning on Roman because Jey is going to be trying to run the show.
Yeah.
And Roman's just like, I said you were the next tribal chief. I'm still here.
Yeah.
And that's when they all turn on Roman.
But see, the problem with that is that I don't want to see Roman and Jey because we've seen that before and it's not good.
When they build up the extra story with it, and you get to a certain point, because you're right, we've had Jey and Roman, we've had Solo and Roman, we haven't had Jimmy and Roman.
No.
And like you said, the ultimate payoff is going to eventually be Rock and Roman.
Yep.
And whenever that gets ready to happen, they will flat out say, we are in the 9th inning.
Interesting, because we haven't gotten any of those inning statements.
The last time was what, the 3rd inning? And that was 2 years ago? But they said it, we heard that multiple times.
Right.
And we're eventually going to get, we're in the 9th inning. Whether it's from Michael calling commentary, whether Roman or Heyman or Rock or whoever says it, it's leading to that, because now it's eventually, hey, for how many promos was it with Cody and Roman, where Cody was like, Roman, your family's not here. You don't have anyone now.
Right.
Everyone's left you. And he's kind of brought them in a little bit, not full-fledged bloodline, but people have kind of realigned a little bit. But then he still kind of disagree with them and this and that. And then it's eventually going to come to a head for him to then officially realize, oh, wait, they are not with you.
Right.
And they all, every single Samoan turns on him.
Yep.
And until it comes to Rock. And I know because it's a big if now, 2027 WrestleMania in Saudi or wherever it ends up being. But Saudi wants Rock Roman.
That's the only match that they would want.
Right. They could do the entire show with just that one match.
Yeah.
And that's where we will be building. I do not see, with like the teaser of Rock on the truck, I don't see any of that happening between now and Mania.
You're not gonna see any appearance from The Rock. That's not gonna happen. You're not gonna get any. No.
Because you gotta continue right now to build Jey trying to be the leader. Because also notice he has not said yeet in weeks.
No.
They've done the yeet in their entrance still.
But he hasn't. He's
back to crazy Emmy Award nominated, considered Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Which we all were like, oh my gosh, this is incredible work. We're back to that finally.
Yeah. Do you think that in this situation, Josh, that Jimmy tries to be the voice of reason here? Or does he just capitulate to his brother's wishes willingly?
I think we're building up to Jimmy finally snapping. In regards to snapping as in
full
hey, you're right.
Yeah.
And he starts going on his own war path, as he was claiming Jey was. Because Jimmy's been the voice of reason, and we see it ain't working.
Right.
Jey won't listen, Roman won't listen. He's just standing there kind of shaking his head, trying to be peacemaker. And where does that get him? It gets him as the other guy who, people get along with. Oh, yeah, you're the nice one. Where's his title shot?
The one that always gets kind of like lost in the sauce, because once things get crazy, they don't pay attention to Jimmy anymore.
Right. So this is going to lead, in my opinion, to Jimmy snapping to elevate him with the mean streak.
But here's the other question, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have been talking about this for the last 10 minutes, and not one time did we
say Punk.
Did we mention where does CM Punk go from here?
Yep.
Because CM Punk wins the match, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
where does Punk go from here?
Next to them will be Jey.
Well, he's not losing to Jey.
I don't know. If we have this Jey trying to be the bloodline leader and boss people around, and Jimmy finally snaps with it, helps Jey win, that's when Jey then solidifies Roman, I'm the tribal chief now. And that's when the turn happens. I can 100% see Jey Punk beating Roman at Mania and Jey beating Punk at Backlash.
Interesting.
I'm not saying, hey, this will be wonderful, but I can totally see if they wanted to go that route, they could. Because to your point, who's the next guy Punk's going to feud with?
Right.
Well, they haven't been elevating anyone else at the tippy top over the last month because we've been busy just focused on Punk and Roman. But in the meantime, they've been doing this stuff with Jey and making him angrier and making him question more and more things and making him the right-hand man again while he's still in his mind thinking, no, I'm the next tribal chief.
Think about it. Brass Knucks, he used it on Austin Theory, got disqualified because he doesn't care about the match.
Right. And then he clocked Logan Paul with it.
Right.
To your point, what you mentioned earlier, he then said to Jimmy, I don't care about the tag titles.
Yep.
He then was ready to snap on LA Knight in the back.
Right.
And then he was going nuts at Punk, wanted to rip his head off, and then going nuts with all the agents and security, and then ordering Roman by calling him Joe.
Right.
Get him. And then Roman ended up listening. We're building Jey, main event Jey Uso, but not yeeting, happy-go-lucky, bright-colored, let's just be a good, fun entrance for the kids type Jey Uso. We're getting bloodline Jey Uso.
No more going through the crowd Jey Uso.
Right. That is eventually going to stop. And I can't wait for it to stop.
It needs to. One way or another needs to, So, I mean, if this is the way to kind of get more variation with the character, then great. You know what I mean? I'm just curious to see where they go with Punk post-Mania. If they go ahead and go your route, then I can see him chasing or, him going somewhere else.
And then I think it all still can, then everything goes full circle, right? Because then eventually with all this, Roman is alone, needs people. Maybe he ends up confiding in Punk. Maybe he even confides in Seth Rollins.
Right. So I might need a new version of the Shield.
Right. I have to go back to where I started.
Because I think the next character arc for Roman Reigns, if this is where they're going, is that there needs to be doubt. Like for the first time in 6 years, right? There's doubt in regards to, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't have the same influence that I used to have. Like nobody's listening to me. I don't have any backup. I haven't had a championship in a long time. Where am I going? What am I doing? And that's where you get this humble Roman Reigns. We haven't seen a humble tribal chief in a very long time. And that's probably where they go. It's probably where they go. Oh, you need me now. He's going to have to do a lot of like atonement.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? With LA Knight, with Punk, like there's a lot of atonement that he's
You need to
going
start showing up on a weekly basis.
but right,
You
you're gonna like all of those things. So like because that's what people are mad about is like, oh well, they can't put the belt on Roman Reigns because he's a part-timer. And it's like, yeah, I understand that because they created the belt because he was a part-timer with the other belt. So you know, there's a lot of roads that they can go here. They're all very interesting, different levels of interesting. So you know, we'll see what happens. I like the fact that CM Punk was laughing at the end because that tells the stories like he's not in control here. Something's going on with this guy where he's not Mr. Cool anymore, and I see something's wrong with him. You know what I mean? That's what the story is that Mr. Cool is no longer Mr. Cool anymore because at this point, I think Roman is starting to get desperate. And I think he's starting to realize that if I don't have that championship, I don't have the power.
Yeah.
And he's going to try to do whatever he can to be able to get it and leaning on his cousins to try to manipulate him to get there. And they're saying, you're not going to manipulate us anymore. We're done with that.
Right.
We're done with that. So there's a story.